This is gonna be interesting. It is finally Friday, and it has been kind of a stressful week, but it's been an exciting week because we did our giveaway this week. I wanted to do something a little different in my intros now. Something I thought about last night that I really want to start doing is I want to share with you guys the Bible verse of the day that I received from K-Love. Because it sort of sets my tone for the day. Today's Bible verse is actually from James chapter 1, verse 17, and it reads, "Whatever is good and perfect comes down to us from God our Father, who created all the lights in the heavens. He never changes or casts a shifting shadow." And again, that was James chapter 1, verse 17. And I think that this verse really says that God never changes and God will always be in control. Your problems, your joys, your sorrows, always just give it to God. So thank you so much for listening to our Bible verse of the day. I'm sorry if you hear Piper squeaking her toy in the background. It's keeping her somewhat quiet, so I'm going to let her continue doing that. But for today, we meaning I was hoping that I could go ahead and get a jump start on making the fudge. We have several batches of fudge that we want to make to give away as gifts this year for Christmas, so I'm probably going to get a jump start on that. So do you mind joining me in the kitchen? So it is time to make our fudge. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and make the chocolate and the white chocolate fudge. I'm not going to make the mint or the peanut butter fudge just yet. I might make one more batch later when Bradley's here, but I don't have enough butter to make 4 batches. I only have enough butter to make 3, so I have to wait until I pick up my groceries tomorrow morning to make the rest of the fudge. So I want to go ahead and just show you guys what I do to make the fudge. So let's go ahead and do, I don't know if you'd call this cook with me or bake with me. We're not technically baking, but it's a sweet treat. So let's call it bake with me. The recipe I use is actually called Easy Fantasy Fudge, and I will link that in the description below if you want to go make your own. So let's get this started. My first tip for making this particular fudge is to have all of your ingredients ready to go before you even turn the stove on, because this recipe moves really fast and you're gonna want to have everything, all the lids off, all of the protector seals off, and bags opened, measurements already poured, because it moves fast. You'll see what I mean in a minute. For each batch, you need 1.5 sticks of butter, 2/3 of a cup of evaporated milk, 3 cups of sugar, 1 12-ounce bag of whatever chocolate chip style you prefer, and you'll also need a teaspoon of vanilla and 1 7-ounce jar of marshmallow fluff. I'm sorry you guys, you're gonna actually see my back a lot. This is just the best camera angle I could get with proper lighting. So the first thing you're wanting to do is turn your stove burners onto medium heat. Then you're going to want to add your 3 cups of sugar, your 2/3 cup of evaporated milk, and your 1.5 sticks of butter to the pan. Then you're going to want to stir all of that together and bring that to a boil. This works better when there's 2 people and you're making 2 batches at the same time. Usually this is something that Bradley and I do together. He works on one batch and I work on the other. I'll just check in with you guys when this mixture begins to boil. Okay, so this one has started to boil now. So I'm gonna set this timer for 5 minutes, and we're gonna let this boil and stir constantly for 5 minutes. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it starts to boil. This one hasn't quite started to boil yet, so we're just gonna baby it a little bit. I did turn the heat up. It was on just straight medium, but then I turned it up to 6, so just like a step up from medium. So I would suggest using a tall, like stock pot like this one when you make it though, because it does have a tendency to bubble and like to splatter up when it's boiling. And it's basically a step below caramel is what you're making. And this mixture will stick to your skin like nobody's business and just sit there and burn, and you'll be left with like a really nasty blister. So I totally recommend a tall pot like this, and I would not let your kids help you with this part. They can help you with adding the chocolate chips and the marshmallow fluff, but this part I think would be best for an adult to take care of. Okay, now my red pot is starting to boil, and this is gonna be tricky because I only have 1 more minute left on this pot before I need to turn it off and add the chocolate chips, and I'm gonna have to be stirring this one constantly, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, this is gonna be really tricky. And I have Piper laying at my feet, and I need to hurry up and get over there. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna turn that heat off. I got pee. And I'm just gonna pour in all of the 12-ounce bag of chocolate chips. I'm actually gonna remove it from the heat as well. And stir all those, oh goodness. I don't know what to do. Hold on. Let me get this started. There we go. Alright. This was a bad idea trying to do 2 batches at the same time. Alright, that's looking good. This one's not burning, so that's positive. I'm just putting the pan on and off of the heat to help the chocolate chips melt. Now the chocolate chips are all melted into the butter, milk, and sugar mixture. So I'm gonna go ahead and add our marshmallow fluff. See how quickly I can do this. It's such a mess. Okay, yeah, this is a bad idea. Trying to do this by myself. Let's do that. Okay, we're doing alright. It's not burning, so that's good. We have 40 seconds left. And I got marshmallow fluff on the pan. Okay. Marshmallow fluff is in. We are mixing that together. I would show you guys what it looks like, but I can't do that and stir both of these pots. Y'all look at my hand. Woo! Need some muscles. Yay! Alright, let's turn that heat off. Stir that a little bit. Go ahead and stir in our chocolate chips. And then we will move it off of the heat. Alright, I'm going to let that sit for a second so I can move on with this. Piper, you're in the worst spot ever. Alright. Okay, last but not least for the white fudge, I have the white chocolate chips and the marshmallow fluff already mixed in it. So the last thing is off of the heat to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then stir all that in. Okay, I'm gonna let that hang out for just a minute so I can finish my chocolate fudge, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when we get it all in the pan to set. Okay guys, here's what it looks like when it is all poured into a pan. I just poured it in there, smoothed it around with a spatula. This is the white chocolate, obviously, and this is the chocolate fudge. I also feel like I should mention, be careful when you're pouring the fudge out of the pot into whatever baking dish you're going to use to allow it to set, because I was holding the pot with the white chocolate fudge in it, and I did what a lot of people do when you're holding the mixing bowl and you're trying to scrape the bottom. You kind of like tuck it like a baby, and like an idiot I did that with a pan that had been sitting on a hot burner. I definitely burned my arm, so I told you guys to be careful, and I didn't even take my own advice. Anyways, now all you have to do is leave them on the counter to cool. It takes a few hours for them to cool down, honestly. And then I like to stick them in the fridge for a couple of hours to set before I try to cut them into like 1-inch cubes. So then I can package them up to give them out. But you can also just leave them on the counter, and then when they cool, you can cut them just at room temperature. You do not have to refrigerate them. I also like to store mine in the refrigerator, but that's totally up to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little bake with me segment, and let me know in the comments below if you try this recipe. It's Advent time.
Me. Ah, Papa. It's December the 15th. Time for my 15th chocolate of the month.
I got my hand behind you. I'm not doing it. And I got the camera in my other hand.
Looks like drums. Sure enough, it's a drum. Drums. Chocolate drums.
Night night.
Good night. What would you like to tell the people?
We're not making any more fudge tonight, but the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is on, so we're gonna watch that and just kind of relax and have some cozy time. Just cozy time. That's not code for anything. It's just cozy time. But
visiting hours.
no. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed our time in the kitchen together today, and since it's Friday, you know what that means. Bradley's gonna be home all weekend.
That means tomorrow's Saturday.
Yep. So.
And yesterday was Thursday.
So our video. Our vlogs should be more interesting now that Bradley will be home for a couple days. Piper, get down. She's licking the spaghetti sauce off of the...
Bye.
So, again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you to our new subscribers. I think we actually had 2 new subscribers today, which may not seem like a lot to other people, but it's a lot to us, and we really appreciate it. But if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, be like everybody else, and join the bandwagon.
Be like the cool people.
Be like the cool people and hit that subscribe button.
All the cool people are doing it.
Yeah. And also give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment with your question for our Q&A coming up. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Deuces.